Alright, welcome back. Here we are, leg 4 on our Tokyo trip. We're going to be departing from RJSN to RJSC. We pulled up our flight plan over here, and there it is. I added a waypoint to it so that we can sort of follow a river up there into our destination airport. Looking at windy.com, it looks like partly cloudy skies. We're going to be departing from right here and flying over to somewhere up here. So partly cloudy skies, doesn't look too bad. We're in real time, real weather. So we're going to get this thing going here. And first thing we're going to do, we're going to close out NeoFly. That's our other adventure that we're going on. So let's see, as that's loading, we're going to pull up our nav map. This is how we entered in our flight plan. So we're departing from RJSN, which is 18 feet in elevation, and then we're going to climb over these rocky mountains over here, end up at RJSC, and that runway sits at 350 feet above sea level. So these mountains here look to be around 2,700 feet, 2,300 feet. So not too bad. We got a cruising altitude of 4,500 feet. This is going to be an IFR flight. We haven't done one of those in a little while. So we will get this thing going here. Alright, a little cloudier than I thought, but we'll do our startup pre-flight inspection here. Turn on our master switches. Now we're basically checking our brake, turning on our engine. We're going to get our battery, our alternator, and our are we still going? Yeah, we're still going. We're still holding the battery switch. So then we're going to turn on our avionics here, get our screens up and going, and yeah, we'll get ready to go. Should be a good flight. Not too bad on leg number 3. Very mountainous area. This one's going to be a little different. Very surprising on the landing. To be over the water, looking over the Sea of Japan, or the EC. Alright, so we started our engine. We're going to adjust our throttle, check our oil pressure, turn on our avionics, and make sure that our flaps are fully extended, which they are. We're going to contact the tower, request for IFR clearance.
They got it, Tower Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha IFR to Romeo Juliet Sierra Charlie, ready to copy.
Turn on our navigation.
Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is cleared to Romeo Juliet Sierra Charlie Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 28 climb and maintain 5,000 feet. Departure frequency is 119.05 squawk 5742.
Alright, we got a little bit of rain going on.
X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha cleared to Romeo Juliet Sierra Charlie Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 28 climb and maintain 5,000 feet. Departure on 119.05 squawk 5742. Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha readback is correct. Contact ground on 118.0 when ready to taxi.
Alright, we are ready to taxi. Get this thing going. They got us taken off. At a says contact ground. Alright, so we're gonna request a pushback, I guess.
Ground Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha requesting pushback. Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha pushback request accepted.
Alright, so here comes the pushback. We've never done this before. Alright, so we're gonna go, I don't know, I guess left?
Negata ground Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left. Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Alright, so he's gonna push back us to the left a little bit. I mean, there's really no need. I could have just went straight out. I just want a taxi. But we'll check this out, see what they're doing here. Oh, we gotta release our parking brake, I guess. There we go.
Negata ground Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha requesting the end of pushback. Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha request to end pushback received.
Alright, let's go back to clearance. I just want a taxi. Request taxi.
Negata ground Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha with Oscar ready to taxi IFR. Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha taxi to and hold short of runway 28 using taxiway Alpha cross runway 22 Charlie. Contact tower on 118.0 when ready.
Alright, we are ready to go. Let's get this thing.
Taxiing hold short runway 28 using taxiway Alpha cross runway 22 Charlie Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
We're going to turn on some lights here, turn on our pitot heat, and we are going to get this thing going here. So we're going to taxi to runway number 28. Say goodbye to RJSN. Taxiway. Now we got a plane taking off. That's a live player. Alright, we're crossing over runway 22-4. And then we're coming up to the turn here to line up to runway 28. This is the opposite way that we're looking to go, so we're going to have to turn around once we take off. Alright, since we're in a pretty busy area, we're going to set the parking brake here. We are going to adjust our heading. We're going to 4,500 feet as planned. We got to do everything by the books on the IFR scheduled flight.
Negata Tower Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha ready for IFR departure runway 28. Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha altimeter 29.9er, 4 wind 219er at 9er. Cleared for takeoff runway 28.
Alright, so we're going to adjust our altimeter to 2994. Wind is at 9. No wind data on our screen, but we got clear for takeoff, so we are going to go.
Clear for takeoff runway 28 Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha.
Alright, so here we go. Leg number 4 out of 10 on our Tokyo / Japan trip here. Alright, here we go. Full throttle. Rain is getting pushed up the windshield. Ease up on the throttle, or not the throttle, on the yoke. Go ahead and hit our navigation system here. We got GPS and pit. FLC mode is on. We're going to start a right turn bend here. We're going to acknowledge the handoff from ATC.
Goodbye. Negata departure Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is passing 1,000 feet, climbing 5,000 feet.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha Negata, departure altimeter 29er, full radar contact continue.
Alright, we are...
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha, climb and maintain 7,000 feet.
Alright, we gotta climb and maintain 7,000.
Climb and maintain 7,000 feet, Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
Alright, so we are currently over the EC here. Definitely have a little rain going on. And we're flying into it, but it should clear up. Get a good look at the airport that we just took off at. Lots of rain behind us. We're running away from it, but we're headed into some more stuff here. We're going to check the inside of the cockpit here. We're turning in 2 seconds there again. And then we're going to be banking to the left pretty hard. There's a 20-degree turn, 25-degree turn. And then we got 1 minute to our next turn, which is going to be on our flight here. 40 seconds. We're gonna finish our departure leg to get onto our 48 nautical mile trip to our approach. So it's clearing up here. I think we'll be alright. It's gonna look nice. We got a bunch of rain to the left and partly cloudy skies to the right. We should be getting out of the rain soon. And we should have some nice clear skies to go along. cap locks on. I'm trying to sign into something else on the other screen here. Alright, it's a very nice sky. Got the nice mountains in the background there. We're going to be flying over some of those. There's JAL 2163. He is still flying. RJOO. I feel like we see him a lot. Nice layout of the land here. So once again, guys, I do appreciate you tuning in. We are doing our bush trip recording. My goal is to try to get these caught up and ahead a little bit so I can be a little more consistent on the scheduling of these. We're gonna bring up Bush Talk Radio here. Alright, let's see where we're at. Should we sign into it and give this thing a whirl? We are connected to Bush Talk. We're back in. When you type in the keyboard, it throws off some settings. So let's go ahead and make sure that everything is still good to go here. So that we don't get yelled at from ATC. Alright, so there's not much going on Bush Talk. Let's see. How we can do with the sound settings here. So we're going to increase the computer for a second. And coming from the departure airport,
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha, you are 300 feet above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain 7,000 feet, altimeter 29.905.
Descend and maintain 7,000 feet, Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
Descending and maintaining 7,000 feet for ATC. So back to this Bush Talk Radio. We got Denka Big Swan Stadium. So we can play a video on that and we'll try to get the speakers going here so that it hears a little bit better. So we're going to move some stuff out of the way and play this.
The Denka Big Swan Stadium, also nicknamed the Big Swan, is a multi-purpose stadium in Niigata City, Japan. It is the home ground of J2 League club RJSC Niigata and was one of the 20 stadia used in the 2002 FIFA World Cup, hosting 3 matches. Through a sponsorship deal, the stadium is officially named Denka Big Swan Stadium and has previously been called the Tohoku Rinryoku Big Swan Stadium for similar reason. The stadium's capacity is 42,300. The highest recorded attendance at the stadium was RJSC Niigata's home fixture against Omiya Ardija on the 23rd of November 2003, with 42,223 fans attending.
Alright, so that's all we had on Push Talk Radio at the moment. We're going to adjust our volume again there. Tempted to fly and see if we can go through that donut hole. See what we're looking at here. Let's go ahead, get back into the cockpit there. So what do you guys think? Let's turn autopilot off for a moment. We got full control. We're gonna fly through the cloud here. We got to maintain 7,000 feet so that we don't get ATC all on a big uproar. We got the clouds over there. We're passing through. Seems to be a bunch of little holes in the clouds that we can fly through. Alright, so very neat there. We got
Golf Sierra Alpha, contact Tokyo Center on 132.3. Good day.
132.3 Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha. Goodbye. Tokyo Center Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha 7,100 feet.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha Tokyo Center altimeter 29.905 radar contact continue.
Alright, so we're continuing on here on our flight, navigated around the clouds a little bit. We are looking at 50 nautical miles to our destination, 33 miles to the top of our descent. Just navigating around some partly cloudy skies. It was raining when we took off. This one is going good, so some more weather to navigate here. We got an IFR trip. We're cutting through the clouds here. Cut that one to the left. Well, the clouds to the left. This one, the clouds are to the right. Looks like we might be okay. Looks like we might clear that without going in, but that's all right. We'll get a little turbulent if when we go through the clouds. nice view of the mountains over there in the background. We'll see how much it clears up. So once again, guys, I do appreciate all the views that I've been getting on this. It seems like Microsoft Flight Simulator is in demand. We got the new version coming out November 19th. We are contemplating getting that. So leave a comment below if you think that that's a good idea and we should start doing some flights there. The only thing with Microsoft 2024 is all these gadgets that we got going on, NeoFly, the nav map. I'm not sure that they are integrated and connected to the new version, so we will see. I did hear that Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 does have an in-game navigation system, so let's see how far away we are from our next waypoint that we entered in. It's 14 minutes till arrival, and that waypoint is GASN that we entered in. Let's see on the flight plan. GASN is there, so we are good to go. And we entered in for runway number 1. I would think that on the IFR trip that is the runway that they're going to assign us, but if it's not, we'll adjust accordingly and go from there. So flying into this cloud. Get a nice cockpit view of flying through the clouds.
Contact Tokyo Center on 118.9er. Good day. 118.9er Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha. Goodbye.
A little turbulent, a little kick up on the front.
Tokyo Center Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha 7,100 feet.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha Tokyo Center altimeter 29.9er radar contact continue.
Adjusting our altimeter and we should be good. This one may get a little turbulent. Clear skies off to the right. Are coming up to the high point of our trip. So you got the mountains in the ground here that rise up to these clouds. So they're hanging out over the mountain as we pass through. Maybe we'll get a good glimpse of it as we fly up through here. Take a peek down. we pass over. So it may get a little turbulent as we fly through here, so fasten your seatbelts, assume your safe positions. Tie my hair up. Alright, as we fly through here, we're going to check on, no, I guess we won't. I was going to check on Neo and see how our AI pilots are doing, but I guess I can. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. We're just flying through the clouds. So we'll check on our career here. We're going to do a live session after this recording. We're currently sitting at 1.9 million. And we got Hurricane and Berlin are still in the air. Hurricane is looking at landing at an estimated 229. Berlin's 229. Hurricane is 134, so she's going to be landing in about 20 minutes. That was the wrong button. I'm looking to go exterior mode here. Alright, looks like we're flying through the worst of the clouds. So we get to enjoy the mountain views here. Close-up zoom of the Cessna 172 here. We're going to be switching planes soon, I do believe, in NeoFly. This is a Class A plane. We're going to jump over B and go to a Class C plane. And do some trips that way, so. There's a nice little view for the thumbnail. But we might hold off until our landing for the thumbnail. Alright, so how are we looking here now? Just under 7 minutes until our next waypoint here. RJSN. And we're going to be going to the left. And Bush Talk Radio has one more talk here about some kind of castle. We'll check that off. It's a 2-minute video, so we will go ahead and get that thing playing here.
Yamagata Castle is a flatland-style Japanese castle located in the center of the city of Yamagata, eastern Yamagata Prefecture, Japan. Throughout the Edo period, Yamagata Castle was the headquarters for the daimyo of Yamagata Domain. The castle was also known as Kyo. The castle grounds are protected as a National Historic Site by the Japanese government. Yamagata Castle consists of 3 concentric square areas. The inner bailey is 200 meters square, was protected by clay walls and wet moats, and had gates at the southeast and north sides and a corner yagura. Within the enclosure was the foundation for a tenshu, which was never actually constructed. The second bailey measured 500 meters on each side and completely surrounded the inner bailey. Its outer walls were folded in place to enable flanking fire against an attacking enemy. This enclosure had large Masugata gates on the south and east and a smaller gate in the north. The third area was about 2 kilometers on each side and enclosed the semi-fortified residences of important retainers. The size of original castle thus exceeded Awa Castle in Sendai and Aizu Wakamatsu Castle, making it by far the largest castle in the Tohoku region. However, without a massive tenshu or stone walls, it was deceptively plain.
Alright, so there's our Bush Talk radio. That concludes just our sound settings here. So that concludes all the Bush Talk radio for this leg of the trip. And we are sitting at 4 minutes to our waypoint here. Our destination runway is over there, so we're going to be going this way and then another left. Check our elevation here. Yeah, so once again, runway sits at 350 feet over at RJSC. Alright, so now we got 3 seconds to our turn here. Why are we stalling? Let's go ahead and increase our throttle. We still got ATC, or that was interesting. I feel like that should not have happened. Our trim is set super high for autopilot. That is the reason why. We're going to increase it. Excuse me. We're going to increase the throttle, and autopilot should adjust that accordingly. Alright, we should be getting contacted by ATC any moment now. To give us our instructions for our descent. Meantime, we can take a look at these mountain ridges. Alright, more of a populated area for sure than the last trip. Destination is 15 miles away, 8 minutes until touchdown. Alright, come on ATC, give us instructions for our descent. We're supposed to be 1,300 feet.
Tokyo Center, Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha requesting vector to next waypoint.
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha, turn right heading 050, resume on navigation.
Turn right heading 050, proceed on course Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
Alright, I'm going to see if we can drop our elevation without ATC freaking out. Let's give it a test. We will drop down to 6,000 feet. Pull the throttle out a little bit. See if they yell at us and say we need to maintain 7,000. No, I think we're good.
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha, you are 600 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain 7,000 feet, altimeter 29.905.
Alright, so we got yelled at.
Climb and maintain 7,000 feet, Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
We'll climb back up to 7,000. I just feel like we're getting close to the airport here. We're 9.5 miles away. I would like to start my descent if that's okay, ATC. It's the problem with the IFR flights here. I'd love to get a little bit lower to the ground so we're not slamming onto the runway. Alright, so we're pretty much back up to 7,000 feet as per ATC, but we are also 1 minute away from the top of our approach. And the runway only sits at 350 feet, so yes, I would like to start my descent. Can I request a decrease in elevation? No, I cannot.
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha, you are 8 miles south. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS Yankee runway 01 approach via Yankee Tango Echo transition. Clear to Yankee Tango Echo.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS Yankee runway 01 approach via Yankee Tango Echo transition. Clear to Yankee Tango Echo Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
Alright, that is the runway over there. That's why we are super high, but they gave us some additional instructions here. So we are going to have to abide by the approach that they have assigned us. So this approach is this little zigzag thing. So we will see about that. So we got to maintain our heading. That's the runway. That's one.
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha, descend and maintain 6,200 feet. Keep speed not above 200 knots.
Descend and maintain 6,200 feet. Keep speed not above 200 knots. Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
Alright, 6,200 feet. Let's do this. Moment to shine here. Reduce our throttle. Going to 6,200 feet. So So our ILS reassignment gives us a little zigzag here. Runway is behind us. I don't know if we can get that in sight from there, but we do get a good look at our city here. Alright, we're going to increase our throttle again. Go 84%. So we're doing a textbook landing here, following the IFR route. Nakayama is the name of the town. How's that for the pronunciation? So we do know a little bit of Japanese. Anata wa Nihonjin desu ka is one of the first phrases that I learned. First word I learned is actually Yuma, which means mountain. So Nihongo ga skoshi wakarimasu is I know a little Japanese. There's our little display of our Japanese language knowledge. We don't know too much. I just had 2 Japanese aunts, so I learned a little bit along the way as I was growing up. Alright, so we are coming up to how much for our next waypoint here? Estimated time, 17 minutes, really? I don't think that's actually right. We will see. I don't know. We'll follow ATC. We'll follow the rules here on this flight. Enjoy the view. Fuel is good. RPMs, the torque. You can usually check the RPMs in other models. Other navigation systems here. This is the G1000. This will be displayed as torque instead of RPM. Oil pressure, oil temp, all good. Fuel sitting okay. Vacuum is good. We got we're going to turn some lights on here. Turn the taxiway on. Get everything in preparation for our landing. Trim set at 10, that's good. Speed not to exceed. We are 6,200. We are ready for our next adventure here. So we saw a glimpse of the airport. If we were running a VFR trip, we would have just went straight in and landed. But with the IFR, we need to navigate against other traffic, even though there's no other traffic in sight. Coming up to the mountains here. Nice clear skies here, partly cloudy. Wind sits at 11 knots. So we're going to have a left to right breeze for our landing, so it's going to be pushing us a little bit to the right. I wonder if I can request IFR for
Tokyo
instrument.
Center Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha requests destination change to Romeo Juliet Sierra Charlie.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is cleared to Romeo Juliet Sierra Charlie Airport as filed. Squawk 5742.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha cleared to Romeo Juliet Sierra Charlie Airport as filed. Squawk 5742.
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha, read that correct. Radar contact 6,200 feet. Altimeter 29.905. Turn left heading 080. Climb and maintain 7,000 feet.
Alright, let's try that. Let's see what that does. I just want to land.
Turn left heading 080, climb and maintain 7,000 feet Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha, descend and maintain 6,200 feet.
Descend and maintain 6,200 feet Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
Alright, we're turning left to 80 degrees back towards the airport because we were cutting off some time here because this thing, we were supposed to go for like 20 minutes. There's no reason for that. We're in a little Cessna 172.
Tokyo Center Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha. Request 5,000 feet.
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha, descend and maintain 6,200 feet.
Alright, so I guess we did not get the clearance for that.
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha, did you copy?
I did. I don't think they copied.
Descend and maintain 6,200 feet Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
I requested 5,000. Let's try 1,000.
Tokyo Center Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha. Request 4,000 feet.
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha, descend and maintain 6,200 feet. Expect 4,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 6,200 feet. Expect 4,000 feet Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
Okay. I'm going to try to go down to 4,000. They're going to yell at us. But I want to land. I want to get this thing over with. We were supposed to be going down to 1350. So.
Japan F554 heavy traffic is 2 o'clock 3 miles at flight level 400 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Japan F554 heavy Airbus A20N in sight.
If they yell at us, we're going to cancel the IFR so that we can land and end this video. Otherwise, I got to circle around the airport. But they're not yelling at us so far, so that's good. And the reason I want to end the video is because my coffee cup is empty and I'd like to get a refill. we are actually going to test the waters here and drop down even further and be rebels. No, I am not doing that transition. Alright, I acknowledge it.
Present heading and altitude. Expect ILS Yankee runway 01 approach via Yankee Tango Echo transition. Cleared to Yankee Tango Echo Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
But I am going to land, so I'm going to cancel the ILS. IFR. I want to land on the runway. So we're going to VFR. We're going to announce our full stop landing position.
Romeo Juliet Sierra Charlie traffic Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha 6 miles south 3,400 feet inbound to land runway 01. Romeo Juliet Sierra Charlie traffic Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha is on final runway 01 to land.
Coming up close, so I'm going to actually deploy a little more flap than normal. So we're at 20-degree flaps. Once we get down to a decent level, I'll reduce that down to 10%. %, flaps, good. Check our throttle. We're pulled out. We're almost in like a glide. Once again, wind sits at 3 knots now as we get lower. Increase the throttle as we pull back on the yoke a little bit. Wind is going right to left. Speed at 87. RPM is at 1400. Everything is looking good. .72 on the speed. We're going to make a nice smooth landing here. We're cutting throttle at the threshold. doesn't get any smoother than that. That was a nice landing. We're gonna wait to the next taxiway here. We're gonna zoom in on the maps to see where we're looking for parking. So we got some fuel stations, I think, coming up. We can park over there. So parking 10 and 11 coming up on our next exitway here, that I think we will take advantage of. Alright, so we got clear runway here. Not that big of an airport, but nice scenery. So this is the fueling / parking area. We'll go into parking number 10 here. So appreciate you tuning in. We're going to get a cup of coffee, get ready to go live for NEO. Here's the fueling stations. We're going to set our parking brake. Turn off our engine. One more to the left. Turn off our alternator and battery. Get this set up here. So appreciate it, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. That was leg number 4 for our Tokyo, Japan bush leg trip. So 6 more to go for that one, and then we will plan the next one. And in the meantime, check out NeoFly Live updates to follow along on our adventure here over at Microsoft Flight Simulator.